What's it like been watching the show evolve over the last few years?
You know, it's been exciting. You know, I came off the back of Vampire Diaries, and there was a lot of talk about the spin-off before we started it. So we all had ideas about it for a good few years before it came into being. So really, it's been very interesting to see it become a real thing, and to see, you know, all these new characters introduced, and for them to develop relationships with the characters I already know and love. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. Everybody tells me the third season of a show is where it really comes into its own. It's the most fun because, you know, you've got into a groove of working now, and also, you know, you've developed a fan base. So that's what we're going into now, third season. So I'm excited, yeah. What
is it about vampires that have stood the test of time in pop culture for so long?
You know, man, I've answered that question so many times. I'm going to tell you, vampires, ever since Interview with the Vampire, they were made sexy. I think before that they were monsters. You know, often their faces would kind of contort and change as they got ready to suck blood. But now they've become something more romantic. I think, especially for teen audiences, it's the idea of being special, having a dark secret, something nobody understands about you, but something that makes you special. That's incredibly appealing. There's also obviously the sexual connotation of exchanging fluids, of drinking blood, and all of that. I think, and then living forever. You know. Being forever young, that's something that, especially now in Hollywood, is much sought after. So I think it's all of those elements that make it very desirable, and something that we kind of, it's a fantasy for a lot of people, you know.
And speaking of fantasy, what would the Originals video game be if you were in charge and you could make it?
It would be you know, it would probably be, I think I would start with the season 1, episode 8, where Klaus takes on all of Marcel's vampires in the courtyard. So that would be the opening level for me, you know, and it would be like the Klaus murder, death, kill massacre, where he single-handedly first gets beaten down and beaten back into the back corridor of the compound, and then slowly fights his way back, like a sort of revenge massacre.